I want you to do something for me right now. As you're watching this video, I want you to look down at how you're sitting. Check the position of your legs. Check the angle of your back. Check where your feet are, because in the next few minutes, I'm going to reveal to you something that I discovered in my cardiology practice that has absolutely stunned my patients. There is a specific way that millions of seniors sit every single day for hours at a time that is silently and consistently raising their blood pressure. It's happening right now in living rooms across this country, in dining rooms, in offices, in cars, and almost nobody is talking about it. My name is Dr. Ray, and today I'm going to show you exactly what this chair position is, why it affects your blood pressure so dramatically, and how to fix it starting this very minute. Please stay with me. What I'm about to share is simple, it's free, and it could bring your blood pressure numbers down by points that you've been trying to achieve with medication. Let me tell you about the patient who first opened my eyes to this. His name was Walter, 76 years old, retired engineer, sharp mind, meticulous about his health. He had been on 3 different blood pressure medications for years, and despite all of them, his blood pressure at home readings were consistently running around 150/90. His doctor was frustrated. Walter was frustrated. They had tried different combinations, different dosages. Nothing was getting it down to target. When he came to me for a second opinion, I asked him to describe his daily routine. He was proud of his routine. He said he spent a lot of time reading, a lot of time at his computer, a lot of time watching television with his wife in the evenings. As he was describing this, I had an insight. I asked him, Walter, when you sit in your chairs, do you cross your legs? Do you sit with one leg over the other? He laughed and said, well, of course, Dr. Ray. I've sat that way my whole life. It's more comfortable. And right there, I knew we had found at least part of his problem. Here's what I asked Walter to do. For 1 week, just 1 week, I wanted him to sit with both feet flat on the floor at all times. No leg crossing, hips at a 90-degree angle, back straight against the chair, both feet flat. I told him to take his blood pressure several times a day, sitting in his normal chairs, and keep a record. And I asked him to call me in a week. 7 days later, Walter called me, and his voice had a note of disbelief in it. He said, Dr. Ray, my blood pressure has dropped 15 points on the top number and about 8 points on the bottom number. Nothing else has changed. Same diet, same exercise, same medications, just not crossing my legs. Is that even possible? Yes, it's absolutely possible, and the medical research backs it up. Multiple studies have now shown that crossing your legs while sitting can raise your systolic blood pressure by anywhere from 7 to 15 points, and your diastolic pressure by 3 to 10 points. For a senior, this is a huge difference. It can be the difference between being controlled and being uncontrolled. It can be the difference between needing 1 medication versus 3. It can be the difference between a normal doctor's visit and one where you're sent for additional tests and workups. So why does crossing your legs raise your blood pressure? There are actually several reasons. First, when you cross one leg over the other, you're putting one leg at an elevated position relative to the other, which shifts blood flow patterns. The muscles in the crossed leg compress the veins, which increases the resistance in your venous system and makes your heart work harder to push blood through. Second, leg crossing activates the muscles in your hips and lower back in a subtle way, which signals your nervous system to stay somewhat alert and stressed rather than relaxed. Third, crossing at the knee rather than the ankle also causes the artery in the crossed leg to be partially compressed, which raises pressure throughout your arterial system as your heart compensates. And fourth, over years and decades, habitual leg crossing can contribute to varicose veins, deep vein issues, and chronic circulation problems that further compound blood pressure difficulties. Now, the leg crossing is not the only seating mistake that's raising your blood pressure. Let me walk you through several others that I see seniors making every day. The second mistake is slouching forward. When you slouch, your abdominal organs get compressed, your diaphragm can't move freely, and your breathing becomes shallower. Shallow breathing keeps your nervous system in a slightly sympathetic stress response state, which raises blood pressure. Additionally, slouching restricts blood flow to your heart and reduces the efficiency of blood return from your legs. Sitting up straight with good posture can immediately lower your blood pressure by a few points and keep it lower over time. The third mistake is sitting with your feet dangling, not touching the floor. This is extremely common for shorter seniors or in chairs that are too tall. When your feet don't touch the ground, your legs become dependent on your muscles to keep them in position, which creates tension. Blood pools in your lower legs and doesn't return efficiently to your heart. Over hours, this causes swelling, fatigue, and elevated blood pressure. The fix is simple. Use a footstool or footrest, or choose chairs where your feet can rest flat on the floor. The fourth mistake is sitting for long periods without breaks. Even with perfect posture, sitting for hours at a time is terrible for your cardiovascular system. Blood pools in your legs. Circulation slows. Your heart has to work harder. Blood pressure rises. Studies have shown that people who sit for more than 6 hours a day have significantly higher risk of cardiovascular disease, regardless of how much they exercise otherwise. The fix is to stand up and move every 30 minutes. Take short walks around the room, stretch, do a few calf raises, go get a glass of water, anything to break up the sitting. The fifth mistake is sitting in chairs that don't support your lower back. Many seniors sit in soft, squishy recliners or couches that offer no real lumbar support. Your lower back curves in an unhealthy way, your shoulders hunch, your breathing becomes restricted, your blood pressure rises. Look for chairs with firm, supportive backs, ideally with some lumbar support. Add a small pillow behind your lower back if your chair doesn't have it built in. This simple addition can make a real difference. The sixth mistake is crossing your arms tightly across your chest while sitting. Many seniors do this when they're cold or anxious or just by habit, but tight arm crossing compresses your chest, restricts your breathing, and signals your body to stay tense. Try to keep your arms relaxed, either at your sides or gently resting on the arms of the chair. The seventh mistake, and this one is sneaky, is watching stressful content while sitting. If you're watching intense news, arguing sports, violent shows, or anything that upsets you, your body goes into stress mode. Combined with poor sitting posture, this can cause sustained blood pressure elevations for hours. Pay attention to what you're feeding your mind while you're sitting. Choose content that relaxes rather than agitates you. And the eighth mistake is sitting right after a meal instead of moving a bit. After eating, your body directs blood flow to your digestive system. If you immediately plop into a chair and remain motionless, your circulation is compromised and your blood pressure can rise. A gentle 10-minute walk after meals helps digestion, improves circulation, and actually lowers blood pressure. It's one of the best habits a senior can develop. So what's the ideal sitting position for blood pressure? Let me describe it for you. Sit with your back straight against the back of the chair with your spine in a neutral position. Your shoulders should be relaxed, not hunched forward or pulled back unnaturally. Your head should be aligned with your spine, not jutting forward toward a screen or book. Your hips should be at a 90-degree angle. Your knees should also be at approximately 90 degrees. Both feet should be flat on the floor or on a footrest. Your arms should be relaxed, ideally supported on the arms of the chair or resting in your lap. And your breathing should be slow, deep, coming from your belly. This position allows optimal circulation, supports healthy breathing, keeps your nervous system calm, and significantly lowers blood pressure compared to poor sitting postures. Now let me also address something important. This video is not just about sitting. It's about lifestyle and how small things done constantly have enormous effects on your health. Your sitting posture is something you do for hours every day. If it's raising your blood pressure by 10 points every single day for years and years, the cumulative damage to your arteries, your heart, your kidneys, and your brain is enormous. Conversely, if you fix your sitting posture and stop crossing your legs, you're doing something beneficial for your cardiovascular system for hours every day for the rest of your life. The impact is massive. Even though each individual moment seems trivial, this principle applies to many things in life. Small habits done consistently for years are what shape our health, far more than occasional big efforts. A 30-minute walk twice a week can't outweigh 6 hours a day of bad sitting. A single salad can't outweigh 3 bad meals. Proper posture for 1 hour a day doesn't help if you spend 10 hours slouched. Consistency is everything. Let me give you a practical plan to implement what you've learned today. Starting tomorrow, make the following changes. First, become aware of your leg crossing habit and consciously uncross whenever you notice. Second, sit with good posture whenever you sit, even if it feels unfamiliar at first. Third, set a timer to remind yourself to stand up and move every 30 minutes. Fourth, take your blood pressure at home regularly, both before and after implementing these changes, and track your numbers. This will show you the progress and motivate you to continue. Fifth, add a 10-minute walk after each meal. Sixth, take an honest look at your chairs. Are they supportive? Do they allow your feet to rest on the floor? If not, consider replacements or add supports. Seventh, teach these principles to your spouse or family. Help each other remember and stay consistent. Walter, the patient I told you about at the beginning, eventually had his blood pressure medications reduced from 3 to just 1. His doctor was amazed. Walter attributes almost all of the improvement to changes in his sitting habits and a few other lifestyle modifications I taught him. He jokes now that his new hobby is catching his friends when they cross their legs and educating them. But seriously, the impact on his life has been profound. Better blood pressure, fewer medication side effects, more energy, better sleep, all from changes that cost nothing and took no extra time. I want you to experience this same empowerment. Too often we think health improvements require expensive treatments, complicated diets, or hours of exercise. Those things have their place. But sometimes the biggest improvements come from changing something as simple as how you sit in your own chair. Your body is capable of remarkable self-regulation when you remove the small, constant stresses that are overwhelming it. Good posture and healthy sitting habits are small gifts you can give your body every single day. If this video opened your eyes, please share it with someone you love. Send it to that friend or family member who always sits with their legs crossed. Teach them what you learned today. This information could genuinely add years of quality life. Subscribe to this channel for more simple, practical health information that can actually make a difference in your life. Comment below if you'll be trying this change, or if you've already noticed a connection between your sitting habits and your blood pressure. Before I sign off, my standard reminder: I'm not your personal physician. This information is educational. If you have high blood pressure, please continue working with your doctor and taking your prescribed medications. Any changes to your medications should be based on actual blood pressure readings and in consultation with your physician. The lifestyle changes I described are complementary to, not a replacement for, proper medical care. Take care of yourself. Sit well, move often, and I'll see you in the next video. One final practical note before you go. If you work at a computer or spend a lot of time reading, consider the ergonomics of your workstation. The height of your chair, the position of your screen, the distance of your keyboard, all of these affect your posture. An adjustable chair, a monitor at eye level, and a keyboard at elbow height can transform your daily comfort and reduce the cumulative strain on your body. Many seniors benefit from consulting an occupational therapist or ergonomics specialist to set up their home and workspace properly. It's an investment that pays dividends in health for years to come. Let me also address a few questions that come up frequently when I discuss this with patients. The first question is always, does this apply to recliners? If I'm fully reclined, is that better or worse? The answer is, fully reclining with your feet elevated above your heart level is actually quite good for your cardiovascular system because it helps blood return to your heart more easily and can lower blood pressure. The problem is partial reclining, where you're slumped in a half-reclined position with your feet dangling or your back unsupported. If you use a recliner, either sit upright with feet flat on the floor or fully recline with your feet properly elevated. The awkward middle positions are where the most harm happens. The second question is about kneeling or squatting. In many cultures around the world, elderly people squat or sit cross-legged on the floor for hours, and studies have shown these cultures often have remarkably low rates of cardiovascular disease. Now, I'm not saying to start sitting on the floor if you've sat in chairs your whole life, but the principle is interesting. These traditional sitting positions engage your muscles, keep circulation moving, and don't put the same kind of prolonged pressure on your legs that chair sitting does. If you can comfortably sit on the floor or squat for short periods, it's actually beneficial. And getting up and down from the floor is one of the best mobility exercises a senior can do. The third question is about car seats. Many seniors spend hours driving or riding in cars. Car seats tend to be poorly designed for posture. Here's what I recommend. Use a small lumbar support pillow behind your lower back. Adjust the seat so your knees are not higher than your hips. Take breaks every hour on long trips to stand and walk. Stretch your legs at every rest stop. And avoid the habit of resting your right foot flat on the floor of the car with your right leg extended for hours, because this can cause circulation problems on that side. The fourth question is about the specific kind of chair to buy. I don't endorse any particular brand, but here are the features to look for. A seat that allows your feet to rest flat on the floor with hips at 90 degrees. A firm seat that doesn't sag over time. Good lumbar support, either built-in or achievable with a small pillow. Armrests at the right height for your elbows to rest comfortably. A seat depth that allows your back to touch the chair back while your knees are slightly in front of the seat edge. Materials that allow some airflow rather than trapping heat. These features combined make for a chair that supports rather than undermines your health. And the fifth question, which I love, is, Dr. Ray, at what age should I start caring about this? The answer is now, whatever age you are. The earlier you develop good sitting habits, the more benefit you get over your lifetime. But even if you're 85 and have been sitting poorly your whole life, changing your habits today will still benefit you. Your body is remarkably responsive to better treatment at any age. Take care, friends, and remember, the little things you do every day are what shape the life you live tomorrow.